What have you done?
You dirty, dirty boy.
The Pink Pony Club.
You
I don't know. I don't know the words.
Oh, not a Chapel fan.
I'm aware. I just don't know the words.
Gonna get canceled
I'm gonna get canceled for not knowing all the lyrics.
for knowing it and appreciating, but not knowing it. I did say I appreciate it.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is the Adventure Twins podcast, where two twins talk about one of our favorite TV shows, Adventure Time. My name is Jacob.
My name is John.
And if you couldn't tell from the intro, we're going to talk about episode 24 of the first season, What Have You Done? This episode was released on September 13th, 2010, written by Elizabeth Ito and Adam Muto. In this episode, Finn and Jake arrest the Ice King, but become conflicted when they realize he has not actually committed a crime.
And this is a very special episode of Adventure Twins because it is currently being recorded on site. That's right. I'm recording from a hotel room in middle of nowhere, Arkansas. So
I am
a little
recording
special.
from my guest room where I normally record.
But no, I mean, thinking to this episode, I think about this one a lot, and that's purely because they advertised it a lot. There's one specific line in this episode that I think back to a lot, where Ice King goes, "I'm toying with you psychologically." They say that quite often in a lot of the ads. This one and Donnie were both just two ones that I saw constantly. Back to Donnie.
God, Donnie's gonna come up every single episode. I could not remember this episode just based off the title. I remembered it watching through it, but this was not one that I have the clearest of memories. Yeah, just, compared to like Rainy Day Daydream or even Donnie, like where I remember it pretty vividly. This is not one I had the clearest memories of. I mean, I think it's a good episode.
Yeah. I remember watching this. I remember watching this one as a kid, and I remember as a kid, I didn't always like fully take in what I was watching. Because I remember it being like very longer, and there being like a drawn out period of Finn and Jake starting to doubt themselves. But then rewatching it as an adult when I was going through Adventure Time, like the first time, I remember watching this and being like, "Holy crap, this episode moves so quick." Like, it feels like Finn and Jake just roll over and just accept that they're the bad guys almost instantly. And they give no breathing room for Finn and Jake to like change their minds. It feels like it's instant. So rewatching it, I feel like the episode just moved a little too quick.
I kind of go back and forth on when some episodes feel longer than they are and some feel like they just cram a bunch in there. Because we'll go and we'll sit down and record these things, and I'll see we're at the 30-minute mark. I'm like, oh my God, there's still so much episode left. But when I watch the episode, it's like things just fly by.
Yeah.
But also just my memory of like which ones felt like they just kept going and which ones felt like fast.
And
Granted, I don't remember this episode as well, but like I know it, but it's not one that comes up in my memories of the show much.
Yeah, it's hard too trying to write
episode. I laughed out loud several times, so
it's hard trying to write notes over what's going on, because then I end up missing so much of the show because I'm trying to write notes, but things are going so quick that I have to just keep writing constantly. So like almost rewatching it sometimes feels a bit like a chore that I have to do, because I know I have to be furiously typing for 22 minutes. Which is hard.
I tend to watch the episodes right before we sit down and record, just so they're fresher in my memory.
Yeah.
But it's, compared to just sitting down and watching the show for an hour, it's like, all right, let me grab my laptop, let me, pause, take my notes of like, and then it's just like the certain details of like, when was the episode released? And I have to write a little, I write a little summary for it and stuff like that. And just like formatting for my own sake.
Podcasting is probably the hardest job out there, And, we're doing such a hard one, too, of watching Adventure Time.
This is a tough podcast. This is really intense work we're doing.
It's a lot of work. I agree.
Watching Adventure Time is the Lord's work.
The episode starts as any other episode where Finn gives a one sentence exposition of... I don't remember exactly what it is, but he literally says one sentence. All right, Jake, we're almost here to capture the Ice King.
Something like our secret mission to capture the Ice King. So it's like, all right, they're on a secret mission to capture the Ice King.
That is it's the 1 second, and to bring it up again, it gives Young Jedi Adventure vibes of
I'm
so excited for our training, Master Yoda.
I can't stop thinking that because I'm working through Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, but when it's like the really shitty 7-minute segments instead of like full 21-minute episodes, and these are not good, and it feels like work trying to get through these, but it's like every episode, not even just as like, oh, we're here doing this. It's almost every single episode starts with Scrappy-Doo saying, boy, being out in the desert sure is fun. And it's always something sure is fun. Almost without fail. It's like every single episode. The writing is so just cut and paste. I think at least in this one, they're doing different stuff each time. But otherwise, it's just like, oh boy, being at the circus sure is fun. Huh, Uncle Scoob? Every single episode.
I like old. Finn acknowledges it too. He says that. He's like, I probably shouldn't say stuff like that out loud.
Out loud, yeah.
And so he's calling it out because, shows like Scooby, Scrappy, Doobie Pals, and then Young Jedi Adventures featuring Scooby, Scrappy, Doobie Pals, and then Young Jedi Adventures featuring Nubs. Yeah. Like, they love Nubs, but like they're meant for children, and they have to call out the exposition. I guess when you're trying to cram so much. But Young Jedi Adventure episodes are like 20 minutes.
So yeah, it's like they have to set up what they're doing. Why are they in? You only need a sentence just to be like, we're on a secret mission, but it's also like you don't want to say you're on a secret mission. They can just
it's very forced. So.
I like they get over to the Ice King's Ice Kingdom, and he's just like sitting on his bed just doing a puzzle by himself. Just real loser behavior, Who does puzzles? Me.
I was gonna say, doesn't our family do a lot of puzzles?
Yeah, I know I do a lot of puzzles. Well, with the cats,
Yeah, I don't with the cats. Yeah,
it's harder now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
They like try and fight Ice King a little bit, and they do knock his crown off at one point. And Ice King no longer is able to use his ice powers, and so I think this is the first one that establishes that the crown is the key to Ice King's powers.
I also made
he doesn't have
that.
Yeah, he doesn't have the crown on. He can't use his ice stuff.
Do you remember how they tricked him?
I don't. I didn't write this one down.
He comes over to his door and discovers a can of peanut brittle.
That's right.
That's out in his doorstep, and he goes, "Oh, peanut brittle, but I'm on a diet." And he opens it regardless, and it's a little Jake in there. He springs out and punches him in the face, and says something, and it's like, "That's for going back on your diet." And Ice King does a line of like, "You've ruined my faith in peanut brittle," or "You've ruined my faith in cans of peanut brittle."
As you do.
Yeah, I love the idea that the fake jar of peanut brittle is not a gag that people are just immediately aware of in this world, but it exists nonetheless. But it's not like the most obvious, there's fake snakes in this peanut brittle or whatever.
Yeah, thinking about that.
Puts you to sleep, huh?
Puts me to sleep. No, I had something. I just totally lost it. I was thinking back to the next episode because we didn't talk about snakes, and there were snakes in the last episode.
Oh, the imaginary snakes. Yeah.
Yeah, we just totally walked over that one. Didn't even mention the snakes.
Yeah.
But the snakes reappear here with the peanut brittle. Yeah, peanut brittle prank. Peanut brittle prank.
Peanut brittle prank.
Peanut brittle prank.
Peanut brittle prank.
Peanut brittle prank.
Peanut brittle prank.
Peanut brittle.
So they capture the ice. What, Camilla? So they capture the Ice King, and this is kind of when it starts setting up the episode, because Jake asks like what they're supposed to do, or maybe Finn asks what they're supposed to do. One of them wonders what they're supposed to do, and Finn is like, "Don't you remember? PB explained all about it." And they flashbacks, and it's just like PB on a screen going, I need you guys to go capture the Ice King and bring him back to me. And that's all she says.
Yeah, so I think pretty clearly into the episode we're aware something's a little off. You maybe you can play that one just off for a joke, but it's like, okay, that's kind of weird. That's not clear at all. No explanation.
Yeah,
And that-
like, well,
yeah.
they're just supposed to arrest him and capture him, but they start wondering. It's like, wait, what did he do again?
Mhm.
And so that's kind of like the big episode is like, yeah,
What did he do?
What did he do? Why
What
are
have
we
you done?
arresting this guy? Yeah, God,
What are we
have you
doing?
done?
Why are we here?
So they get back to the Candy Kingdom, and it's covered in this like sickly green haze, and they see a strange figure with a long plague doctor mask. And who could it be? None other than
It's the Spoopadoop.
it's just Princess Bubblegum in a plague doctor mask, and I think she says something in German, which is a little
She does.
strange. Yeah.
She speaks full German. Yeah, we have to remember very likely is a post-apocalyptic Germany. We have to remember that. For all the fans out there of the lore.
But she's out fumigating the kingdom. We don't know why yet. There's a lot of just
No.
like mystery, and it's kind of one of the whole like a lot of this show starts by just kind of getting thrown into a plot sometimes.
Yeah.
We're
But
not
this
really
one's
sure.
like that's
It's
like
part of
it
the
in this
plot
one,
is
though.
that we've
Yeah.
just been thrown into the plot and don't really know what's
Yeah.
happening yet.
Yeah, I mean, you show up, Candy Kingdom is empty. There's a green smog, and PB's walking around as the plague doctor. So, and then we also don't know how does the Ice King connected into this. So it's got us hooked a little bit.
Yeah, so we want to figure out, what did he do? What have you done?
I like when they're going down to like the secret dungeon where they're gonna hold Ice King captive, and there's a wall that comes to life, and it's like a
Yeah.
cute little wall with these like cute little dimples, and
Yeah, it's
the
got these big chubby cheeks.
password is you have to just pinch the cheek and make a giggle, and I thought that was really cute. It reminded me of Cherry from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, I get that vibe.
You got it, and it was cute.
But then PB gets a call over the PA system, which is just Manfred the Pinata up in a tree with a megaphone.
Good bit. I
Yeah,
like that.
calling PB like you're needed somewhere else, and so PB is like, "All right, you guys, just go watch him and get ready to make him howl with pain."
This episode is not helping for the Princess Bubblegum as a dictator vibes.
Yeah.
Because she's like definitely a little dictator-y in this one.
Oh wait, and this is one of those things too where it's like the specific wording of what she says comes back into play. Where they ask her, it's like, "Wait, what did he do?" And she's like, "He hasn't done anything."
Yeah.
And like that
Oh,
comes
yeah.
back. That happens in an earlier episode, right? Where I was just thinking of like, "I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be on the morrow."
On the morrow. That is a later episode, I think.
No, that was the dungeon episode, right? I said I'd be back on the morrow. And the morrow is her bird, and it shoots
Right, but
lasers.
yeah, but that's because the bird came in to save the two of them in dungeon, and on the morrow is a different one. I think I'm gonna Google that. I literally just watched that clip the other day on Insta.
Or I was thinking, there's an episode of Teen Titans, the 2003 version of Teen Titans, that deals with racism, but in a very well done way, where Starfire and the rest of the gang, this like kind of big buff alien hero comes in, and all of the Teen Titans love this guy, and he's super cool, but he keeps being like, he just totally ignores and is kind of speaking down to Starfire. And calls her some name, and they ask Starfire, it's like, "Hey, what does that name mean?" And she just goes, "Oh, it means nothing." And so later in the episode, they've all like taken after this guy, and they want to be like him. And Beast Boy calls Starfire this name, and she's like, "Don't you dare ever call me that. That is such a hurtful word for me." And Beast Boy's like, "Wait, I thought you said it didn't mean anything." And she said, "No, I said it means nothing. It's like he's calling me nothing, and that I'm like, I'm a nobody." And that's how they kind of realize that like this guy hates the Tamarans. No, not Tamaran. I can't remember. Whatever planet. I think,
Tangerines.
no, yeah, it's something. It's like Tamaran. I think I've literally it's like I have some
Orangutans.
Starfire comics next to me, but and that's how they kind of realize, oh, this guy's just really racist against this planet alien race. of which Starfinder, Starfire belongs to. Yeah, Star Trek. And that's kind of what it reminded me of with PB in this episode of like the words she says matter very specifically how she says them.
Yeah. It's like that classic episode of SpongeBob, Mr. What's It To Ya?
Oh yeah.
Like what's your name? What's it to
What's
ya?
it to ya?
And that's his name, Mr. What's It To Ya.
Yeah.
It's funny. It wasn't Dungeon, it was Death in Bloom, which is the 17th episode of the second season.
Oh wow, okay. So I'm jumping ahead then.
Here we are. Yeah, little spoilers there on the morrow.
On the morrow. But yeah, so she's like, "Oh yeah, Ice King hasn't done anything," and go make him howl with anger or with pain.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring him down there and they try to do this big like tough man act, and they put him in a
Like good.
they're
cop,
going
bad
through
cop,
yeah
that
they
deal.
treat it like it's a prison, like this very like he's broken a law, we're putting him in prison. So they're going through his personal items. They're like, one magical crown, probably stolen.
Okay, I have a lot of thoughts on this. This like 2 throwaway gags.
Yeah, because Ice King is like, I didn't steal that, I made it with magic that I stole.
So that makes me question if we've established the crown is the source of the magic, but Ice King is saying he made it with magic that he stole. Then which one is it? Did he get the magic first and make the crown that then also gives him power? Like, no, we don't know. Or maybe the magic is referencing something else.
Well, I think the ice powers come from
The crown.
the crown. But didn't he steal the crown? I'm thinking ahead to the lore as well, but I'm like,
Okay, if you get really lore heavy, he did not steal magic, nor did he make the crown.
because
So
we see a
both
lot of
are
other
unsure.
magical creatures in the show, and like we go to like
Yes.
Wizard City and we see other wizards too, and like
The wizard Ice King is not technically magic. The crown gives him powers, but that is it.
yeah.
So maybe like he said, I made the crown with magic I stole. No, he didn't, but he's also very confused and crazy. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
think
he
that's
knows
kind of a
that,
lot of the
but-
lines you're not supposed to take super seriously because he's just
Yeah.
he's just kind of a kooky old man who's always just in the wrong.
But yeah, knowing the future, trying to take that throwaway line literally, you can't because it's just blatantly untrue.
I do love they put him in jail and there's a great line of like, these bars can't hold me forever, and then it like reveals it's like because there's only like 2 of them and he can just walk out on the other side. It's like, you guys aren't meant to be holding me. It's like they're terrible dungeon keepers.
Do you remember growing up? This was at our cousin's house in Houston. We'd sometimes play computer games on the upstairs computer. And one of them was the Candyland computer game.
Yeah.
And there's a very end, you have to like bust King Candy out of jail that he was being held in. And you have to like time up the little, like, it's just a little shooter thing that goes back and forth. You just have to time up the shooter to line up with like the jail cells, which are made of gumdrops. So you just have to basically shoot the gumdrop jail bars down. But at one point, there's literally like 1 jail bar left, and he's still just pacing back and forth into the jail cell. And I remember as a kid always being frustrated, like, he can get out. There's 1 thing of gumdrops left. Just walk around it. But no, the game, you have to take them all down.
That is an oddly specific memory.
And literally exactly applicable to this episode, though. See also GoldenEye on the N64. Dudes will be standing by like a little foot guard that like maybe comes up to their ankles, but if you shoot at them, the game counts that as a full wall. You can't actually shoot them. Just a little side thing.
But the only things in that prison, it's not just the 2 jail bars. They point out that they also have the Oculus of Rehabilitation, which is a big eye in the ceiling that just watches.
I like
over
that
him.
one.
Like, hey, and then
do better.
do better. And then they have the Shelf of Penitence, which is they put the crown on it and it just makes the crown start crying. And it's like, I'm sorry.
They've got some good like sight gags, and it's a funny little good cop bad cop bit.
Yeah. And this is where Ice King then starts to like kind of keep going on about like, I haven't done anything though. And it's like, you haven't, I can't remember all the dialogue. All I wrote down was Finn learns about the human construct of law and rules and how they've kind of set up their own rules and are trying to force them. But then if they aren't following their own rules, then all those rules kind of start to fall in place to begin with. And so that's part of the, or psychically, or,
I'm toying with you psychologically.
That line. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it starts coming in.
Ice King is clearly trying to well, maybe you guys are the bad guys. I didn't do anything. So how can I be bad if I did nothing? And Finn's literally just created these rules and is trying to work through.
His one of the lines 12-year-old brain is failing to realize.
Yeah,
it's so focused on that logic is correct in
very
this
black
scenario.
And white.
Yeah, exactly. There's no room for moral grayness.
Yeah. One of the things Ice King says is, "I've committed no recent crime." I thought that was funny, just throwing in the word recent. Very, very qualifying right there.
And then Ice King, he's like, "I'll show you who the real jerks are, or I'll show you the true jerks." And he pulls the cover off of a big mirror and immediately blows out the candle so they can't look into the mirror. And so he tries to bring it closer and half the mirror drops and breaks. And he just can't seem to get them into the mirror. And he's holding up like one little fragment of glass. And it's like, the jerks is us?
Yeah, Finn and Jake see themselves in the mirror finally. Oh, we're the real jerks, but it's Ice King couldn't. So you try to have a funny joke, but you just can't stick the landing.
It's that moral quandary that Finn starts to have of, oh man, am I doing the right thing? He hasn't done anything. We just put a man behind bars. That's not good.
Well, the pulling out the mirror and saying you guys are the jerks reminds me of an American Dad episode.
Oh my God.
It's where Stan wants to go to a good show about Abraham Lincoln. He wants to see a play about Abe Lincoln. The one he goes to is a one-man Abe Lincoln show. It's just like the shirtless guy who's like dancing around. At one point he goes, "Aren't we all just slaves?" And a giant mirror comes down the ceiling, and so everyone can see themselves in the mirror, and it just says "slaves" on it.
That's the Lincoln Lover episode where Stan decides to make his own play where people start reading into it. It's like, oh yeah, you also agree about how Abe Lincoln was gay and he was like having a relationship with his like guardsmen.
Yeah, Stan plays Abe Lincoln's bodyguard, and Abe is played by like a full-size mannequin.
Yeah,
but it's tons of gay undertones.
It's like super homoerotic.
Yeah, so the group of gay Republicans are log cabin Republicans.
Yeah, the log cabin Republicans. Yeah,
they fall in love with the play and with Stan because they're reading into the very homoerotic undertones of Lincoln Lover.
Anyway, you'll hear more about this on our American Dad podcast. Good morning, America, Dad. I don't know.
No, that one's pretty good.
Yeah, Good Morning, American Dad.
I'll take it.
Yeah, okay.
So most of the episode is just Ice King playing into their moral quagmire of
that's a Family Guy, not American Dad.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I was trying to little zinger right there.
Ooh,
but their moral quagmire, and eventually Finn just cannot, he can't come to terms with the fact that we are the bad guys in this situation, and so they walk back up to the cell, and they're basically, you're free to go.
Well, I was going to mention in that bit, they go to unlock the gate, and Ice King is just like, "Is it time for my hour in the yard, boss?" He's just already fully gone into the, "Guess I'm a prisoner now." And it's like, buddy, it's been like 2 minutes.
When we talk about this episode moving way too quick, I mean, they totally shift personalities the entire, I can't keep up with, okay, is he actually a prisoner? Is he toying with, you don't know.
So they let him out and they go and take his place in the cell, and it's like, we did bad, we have to go to jail ourselves. And Ice King is immediately possessed. I was like, "Hey, get out of my home." Or get out of my room.
Back on yard time, I wrote this down. We'll go for a quick walk around the office as a group. We call it our yard time. So we're like, "Hey, yard time's at 2 today," and we'll just do a little walk around the little business area. There's one time we had a bunch of lawyers in the office for some reason, and we're like, "Hey," we all got a heads up, "Hey, we're gonna have some guests in the office. Just watch what you say around them because lawyers. And we were joking. It's like, should we go invite them to our yard time? We're like, specifically if we call it yard time, lawyers will love that.
Where were we?
Finn. So yeah. So Ice King gets a little possessive of his cell, but realize that he is being let go. They do. Ice King kind of misconstrues this as they're now best friends.
Oh yeah,
which
that's
obviously
right.
is not the case. I don't remember exactly what he says, but they start I think Finn slaps him. He goes, "Oh, well, I'll call him Slappy D's."
Yeah, he goes for a fist bump and he goes, "Nux."
That's it.
And Finn slaps his hand away and he goes, "Oh, slaps in disgust, huh? Ooh, let's call them Slappy D's."
That's it. Yeah. I watched these yesterday, and I don't remember some of the quotes I put down. I just remember Slappy D's made me laugh.
Yeah, and so they get him,
And then
they
he-
finally convince him. It's like, "Hey, man, we're letting you go. Get out of here." And so he
Ice King
finds
calls
another.
them-
Yeah, what's
his
he
bosoms.
his bosom.
And Finn's like,
best
"I am
bosom.
no man's bosom."
I am no man's
What's
bosom.
up, my bosoms?
So they get him to go, and he finds a secret door, and then PB comes back in through a different secret door. Did someone make a line about how there's a lot of secret doors around there? Or did I make note? There's a lot
I
of
think
secret doors. They say something,
Jake
right?
said something like that.
Yeah.
And Ice King also, before he said it, cast the spell Detect Secret Doors.
Yeah.
Which is just very D&D. I think he actually said, "I cast Detect Secret Door." It's a very D&D coded reference.
Yeah. So anyway, PB comes back, realizes she gets her power fist, her gloves on, and is ready to make Ice King howl in pain. And then realizes, oops, they let him go, and you guys have put yourself in the cell. And get a big old 180. And then
Yeah.
she flips a table, and it's like, "What have you done?" So it's a callback to the title of the episode. But I'm now realizing that the title has a bit of a double meaning, because it's both them asking Ice King, "What have you done? Why are we arresting you?" But also PB of like, "You let him go. What have you done?"
What have you
So-
done? Yeah. So we finally, Princess Bubblegum finally gives an answer, and we go into a flashback scene of what happened. Ice King back in the day, Ice King had come over to the Candy Kingdom and was showing off this new trick where he could make it snow by scratching his beard over the town, and so it makes it snow over the Candy Kingdom, and all the little Candy Kingdom little candies just come out and start eating all the snow. And it's basically Ice King's beard dandruff that's also ice, so it makes them all very sick and freezes them all. My favorite line was, "Old Starchy's there," and he goes, "Yeah, even old Starchy's sick."
Yeah. I love Old Starchy.
I like that one.
Yeah. And so, they went over to try and get Ice King, because they realized the only cure for this freezer burn is the howls of pain from Ice King. It would melt them.
Sure.
And so they went over to the Ice Kingdom to try and get him to howl in pain, but Ice King, being as totally oblivious as he is, immediately is just like, "You're hitting on me."
Yeah. Not knowing that,
Yeah.
I'm coming to you in a dire need, but he's like, "Oh, you finally like me."
Yeah. And so when PB had said earlier, when they asked him what did he do, and she says he did nothing, the "he did nothing" was he caused this problem and has done nothing to help fix it. That's why I'm arresting him. It's like, I couldn't get him to howl in pain by asking, so I'm going to arrest him and make him howl in pain myself, and that's how I was going to do it. I'm going to make him do it.
It all makes sense in the end. So there was a little detail in the backstory which you may have missed. Princess Bubblegum finds the cure to this ice sickness is the howls of Ice King, and she finds that in an old book that she's flipping through. When she turns the page on the right hand side of the book, it's of Ice King like howling, and it's like shows the ice shattering, so we know that's the cure. On the other side of the book, there's a number written, which I'm guessing you didn't write down.
I did not. No, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to look this one up because it took me a second. The number is 5318008, which if you type that into a calculator and turn it upside down, it says boobies. Yeah.
No, I didn't realize that one.
Yeah. And again, it's on the screen for maybe a second and a half, 2 seconds. And I look at them like, what the hell is that number? I'm like, that can't be a coincidence. What is
It's
that? I have
just,
to
yeah, it's just
Google
the
it.
boobies.
And I said, oh my God, it's boobies.
That's good. That's a good little detail.
That's a good. Yeah, I was looking forward to that.
One little detail I took note of is Finn and Jake are trying to explain what happened and why they let Ice King out. And they were like, they had explained that Finn says that arresting someone who hasn't done a crime goes against his alignment. And I liked the idea. Calling it his alignment over his moral compass or his code or anything like that is explicitly D&D. Calling it alignment.
Yeah, I noted the same thing.
I took note of that. And I'm like, oh, that's just got to be a D&D reference to like your character alignments.
So, finally, Finn and Jake understand. So they finally go back to the Ice Kingdom to try and get Ice King to Howl. They bring some like recording equipment to just record his howls to play. But Ice King is like,
well, he's now convinced that they're best friends.
exactly. So he's trying to hang out, calls them his bosoms again.
He's up there for game night.
Yeah, he brings out a board game. I think he made the board game out of his teeth, which makes you question what the hell is the game.
He's like, I just carved these game pieces from my own teeth. I just made note. Ice King is just he's just such a pathetic guy.
Yeah.
He's just so desperate for friends and to be liked. And like, you know what? That's not pathetic for wanting to be liked, but he's just so desperate for friends.
Yeah.
And he misreads every situation.
You know that game? Man. You know that game with the alligator and you have to press the teeth and it might chomp on you?
Oh, yeah. What's that one called?
I imagine that's the board game he had, but it's his own teeth.
Cool.
So they try to get him to record it, and they trick him by doing some kind of stupid of like, well, don't you know how friends act? They howl in pain with each other or something stupid. But Ice King gets the giggles and just can't do it.
He's like, I can't record it. I've got the sillies.
And that made me laugh because, Lord, I know there's been too many times where I try to do something, I get the giggles.
Yeah. You try to record a line or a video, and you just can't stop laughing.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I was trying to do anything and any type of recording we couldn't get out going through high school and making movies.
Yeah. So Finn realizes that the only way to get him to howl in pain is by faking his own death. So he very melodramatically pretends that he dies, and Ice King comes over and mourns his death, and the howls of that then cure the Ice Kingdom or the Candy Kingdom from their like ice flu or whatever it was, their freezer burn flu. And yes, Starchy gets unfrozen. It was like, oh, I might be a little too healthy now, and he's like totally buffed out.
Yeah, I like that. Starchy gets super jacked. He's like, oh, I'm too healthy.
Oh, there's another thing. I made PB spoke in like full German again before she kind of like faints with joy onto one of the hospital beds. And I was like, oh, that's so twice now in this episode she speaks just in German. I don't know what she says. So
I wouldn't know, but no, it's pretty clearly she has German undertones.
Yeah.
I'm
very curious. Yeah, if anyone speaks German who listens to this, what did PB say? Comment on our Spotify playlist. Shoot us an email, adventuretwinspod@gmail.com. Comment on our social media, adventuretwinspod. Let us know. What did she say in German?
Find us on Instagram or TikTok. For all the kids, you can see us do our little dances.
Do it on the TikTok.
What they do on TikTok.
TikTok. Anyway,
that is banned in the state of Arkansas on public Wi-Fi.
Oh.
So that's just a fun fact. I have to disconnect from Wi-Fi if I want to use TikTok.
Australia has banned social media for anyone under 16.
Yeah.
That includes YouTube, Twitch, and I'm like, no YouTube for people under 16?
That's crazy behavior.
And I'm like, I don't know if it's watching or just uploading, but I'm like, the idea that you can't watch YouTube under 16, that's a lot of stuff that you kind of need on, like, the amount of shit
like
where
Muppet videos on YouTube all the time.
Yeah, I even think of like, you know, something like Khan Academy where it's like, I need help in math. And you watch a YouTube video explaining how to do it. Granted, I don't know the details of this, so it might be you can still watch, you just can't like upload anything, but like,
which makes
that's kind of ridiculous. Australia's going pretty intense with it. Anyway,
closing thoughts.
I don't know why I didn't remember this episode. I think it's funny.
Really?
Yeah,
It is funny.
I think it's just a funny episode. It's not the most like out there memorable episode. I think it's just a good episode and kind of the joke moral quandary. I think it's just I mean Ice King's just funny, so that's some of it.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime there's Ice King, I'm in for a good time. I mean, it's not my favorite by any means. There are good parts to it though. I don't actively dislike it.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good episode. I like some of the gags. I feel like especially like the mirror bit. It's weird to say that like I don't always feel like the show quote has jokes. Like they move so fast sometimes. I feel like they don't have clear kind of just like doing a gag like that always. I don't know if this makes any sense, but like
Yeah.
to be able to commit to like, oh, it's the broken mirror. Oh, and then it's like they blew out the candle. Oh, and then it's a broke again. But like commit to a joke like that feels sometimes it's more just kind of like, yeah, it's like a little situation or just a line here and there. But to do kind of like a physical joke, like, I don't know. I might be totally bullshitting here, but
No, I think you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
most of the humor of Adventure Time, I think, lies in them just doing like silly bits or
Yeah.
silly voices, or calling things silly words. I think
Yeah.
a lot of the humor just stands in that, or going against the grain of what you expect from a typical event like fantasy. They take like a very simple storyline, but somehow add like a twist to it. Yeah, but no, there typically aren't just like a three joke setup type of deal.
yeah. Have you ever faced a moral quandary?
Ooh, yeah, probably. I'm trying to think. There's this one time where I sent this guy to jail, but he didn't do anything, so I had to send myself to jail.
I
Have
choose
you?
business ethics.
Ethics.
No, I've never faced. Everything I've done is totally morally just,
Yeah,
and I've always been in the right about everything I've ever done.
yeah. Have you ever not told someone the full truth to save their feelings? That's morally gray.
Have I ever been like Princess Bubblegum and kind of just not said information that would have been extremely helpful right from the get-go?
Yeah, maybe
Maybe
that would have been helpful.
classic sitcom. If they had just described everything at the beginning, nothing could get misinterpreted.
Yeah, it's like if Mario had said he was gone for good fried chicken, that would save a whole plot episode.
Oh God, that's a throwback.
That is a reference right there.
That is from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Luigi thinks Mario is dead because he leaves a note that he says, "I'm gone for good," but then it's like, oh no, there's more to that note. It said, "I'm gone for good fried chicken," and he comes back and he's just got a bucket of chicken.
I think Cyndi Lauper's in that episode. That's like the big guest star is Cyndi Lauper.
That show is bizarre.
I remember as a kid liking the cartoon parts more, and not liking the adult, like the live action stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember rewatching like an episode as like not an adult, but definitely older. And I remember thinking the live action stuff is funny as hell.
So much funnier. Yeah.
It's real. In the cartoons, like obviously it's cartoony. There's some good parts to it, but I like
Anyway, you can hear more about this on our Super Mario Brothers Super Show podcast, the Super Mario Brothers Super Podcast. I don't know. There's a name in there somewhere.
I always liked the idea where we're gonna do it. We're gonna sing the opening theme song, but dress up as Mario and Luigi and do the little dance with it because I
Oh,
still have
that's
it
good.
memorized.
Yeah, we're the Mario Brothers.
Mario
the
Brothers,
Plumbers, the
brothers,
gang.
the
We're
gang.
not like the
We're
others.
not
who
like
get,
the others who
who
get
get
all the fame.
If your sink is in
If your
trouble,
sink is in trouble, you can count
call
us
us
on the double.
We're faster than
We're
the
faster
others.
than the others. We'll be hooked
Hooked
on the
brothers.
Ugh. Don't they do that in the Mario Bros. Movie, like the Chris Pratt one?
I think they might.
I think they do. There's like
Oh, it's the theme
one of
song.
the
Yeah.
promos.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, in their commercial for the Mario Brothers Plumbing.
Yeah, they bring that back, and I remember, oh my God, throwback to the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
There were a lot of references in that movie. They were pretty good at attention to detail. If they had just done better attention to voice acting, and not having Chris Pratt. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, this episode's gone on long enough.
Maybe too long.
Thoughts?
Nah, we already did that.
All right. Yeah, we did. All right. Adventure Twins.
Adventure Twins.